Eloise Parker is a retired schoolteacher living alone, but she rents out her garage to Adam Clay, a quiet beekeeper. One day, Eloise falls victim to an online scam, the U.S. equivalent of a bank security service, losing over $2 million, most of which belonged to the charity she managed. Unable to live with the shame, she takes her own life. Clay discovers her body and is immediately arrested by FBI agent Verona Parker, Eloise's daughter. After her death is ruled a suicide, Clay is released. Verona informs Clay that the group responsible for scamming Eloise had been under FBI surveillance for some time, but is difficult to track down. Skeptical they'll ever be brought to justice, Verona remains doubtful. Seeking justice for Eloise, Clay contacts a mysterious organization known as the Beekeepers to hunt down the scammers. Clay receives the address of the scammers, a call center run by Mickey Garnett. He storms the building, scattering the employees and killing several of Garnett's men before blowing up the facility. Garnett reports this to his boss, tech executive Derek Danforth. Danforth orders Garnett to kill Clay. Garnett and his crew track Clay to his garage, where Clay swiftly kills everyone except Garnett, whom he maims by cutting off his fingers before letting him go. Garnett calls Danforth to inform him that Clay is a beekeeper. After following Garnett, Clay kills him. Danforth listens to the murder over the phone, as Clay warns him that he's coming for him next. Danforth consults Wallace Westwild about Clay. Wallace, a former CIA head, now manages security for Danforth's firm at the request of Derek's mother, Jessica. Alarmed, Wallace contacts the current CIA director, hoping to stop Clay. The director reaches out to the Beekeepers and learns that Clay has left the organization. Despite this, they send an agent to kill Clay, but Clay kills her by burning her alive and cutting off her finger, causing a gas station explosion. Not wanting to escalate further, the Beekeepers inform the CIA they will remain neutral and not pursue Clay. Meanwhile, Verona and her partner, Matt Wiley, investigate the crime scenes and discover that Adam Clay officially doesn't exist. They identify Clay's next target as the 9 Point Center, which runs Danforth's global call centers. After informing FBI Deputy Director Prigg that Clay is a beekeeper, they secure full backing. Wallace assembles a team of ex-special forces and reveals that the Beekeepers are a covert organization tasked with protecting the U.S. outside of government oversight. To stand a chance against Clay, Wallace orders the team to guard the interior of the 9 Points building while the FBI sets up a SWAT team perimeter. Despite the SWAT leader's request to evacuate the employees, Danforth insists they stay, allowing Clay to swiftly defeat the FBI's SWAT team and infiltrate the building. After killing the manager, who reveals Danforth as his boss, Clay continues his mission. Verona informs Prigg that Derek Danforth controls both companies, which belong to Danforth Enterprises, a front used by multiple U.S. government agencies. Verona also raises concerns that Clay won't just target Derek, but may also kill Jessica, who is the President of the United States. Prigg grants the agents full authority and informs the President. Frustrated by Clay's relentless pursuit, Wallace advises Derek to stay with his mother under Secret Service protection. At the President's seaside mansion, Wallace hires mercenaries, including a leader who claims to have killed a beekeeper at the cost of his leg. At the mansion's entrance, Clay sneaks under a truck, swapping places with a Secret Service agent to infiltrate a party being held there. Verona spots Clay, but before he can be arrested, he detonates bombs hidden in the Secret Service vehicles, creating chaos that allows him to enter the mansion. Meanwhile, inside the mansion, Prigg reveals to Jessica the fraudulent empire her son has built. Derek confesses that during her presidential campaign, Jessica was trailing in the polls and needed funding. He used a CIA program to identify financial targets and scam them for money. Distraught and terrified, Jessica decides that if Clay gets close, she'll expose Derek's scheme to save her son. Enraged, Derek kills Prigg and takes his mother hostage. Clay fights his way through the mansion, injuring several Secret Service agents and killing the mercenaries. He finally reaches the corridor leading to the President's office, where he engages in a brutal hand-to-hand fight with the mercenary leader and kills him. Clay breaches the president's office, where Wallace tries to convince him to stop, but Clay breaks his fingers. He plants explosives on the door, blowing it open just as Verona and the FBI agents arrive. Verona tries to persuade Clay not to kill Jessica and Derek. A panicked Derek attempts to shoot his mother to avoid taking responsibility for his actions, but Clay kills him first, leaving Jessica horrified. Clay then escapes through a window. Despite having a clear shot, Verona decides not to shoot Clay. Believing justice for her mother and the other victims is more important than following the law to the letter. Clay escapes the mansion using a scuba tank he had hidden on the beach.